Hey everyone, and welcome to the Vita Cast, episode 65. I'm your host, I don't even know what I said there, Tyler Woltoff. It's going to be a good podcast if I can't even say host right. With me, well, not with me, because Kyle gets mad if I say that, Kyle Wakeling.
What?
What?
What, Tyler?
Hey, are you alright?
Just what?
Alright, it's going to be a great one. We also got a special guest with us, Liam. What's going on, Liam?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, I don't know if many people know who you are, but you've been on the site for a while now. Would you like to talk a bit about yourself? Let them know who this Liam guy is.
Yeah, my name's Liam. I've been on the site since about November, late November, and I used to be part of a website called Sensible Gaming, where I found that it was writing a lot about the Vita, so I decided maybe it's just go to a Vita site that's dedicated to the platform. And since then, I've absolutely loved my time at the Vita Lounge. My favourite games for the Vita, I would say, are Persona 4, Rogue Legacy, and Velocity 2X.
Very nice. Those are great games. Well, thank you for joining us, Liam. If people can't tell, you're definitely not from North America, right?
Certainly not. No, I'm from the northeast of England.
Awesome. Well, all right. Let's see how this goes. I'm tired. We got someone from England. Kyle's Canadian.
I've been up for days.
Well, let's go to what we normally do. Let's talk a bit about what we've been playing this week. And I'm going to throw it to Liam. Liam, what have you been playing on your Vita?
I bought the Sly Cooper collection. I'm currently playing through the first one. I'm about halfway through it because I got to get that plat.
Oh, yeah.
And I've also been playing La Mulana EX, which is really, really difficult. And it also displays in a 4:3 aspect ratio rather than filming out the screen, which is also quite annoying.
That's a little weird.
Yeah. I've also been trying the last 10 levels. I have those left to do in Velocity 2X to get the platinum. Gotta get that plat as well. And
always gotta get that.
Those are causing my thumbs to blister, basically.
Well, it's a good thing Ollie Ollie came out, right?
Oh, yeah, I've got that to look forward to as well.
Yep. Have you played it yet?
Haven't yet, no.
Ooh, tisk tisk. Anything else you've been playing besides those games?
I've also been playing a bit of Rogue Legacy as well.
Nice.
I never really stopped playing that since it launched.
Yeah, I really want to jump back into it and play a little bit more because I reviewed the game, so I mean I played a ton of it, but after I reviewed it and played it for a little bit after the review was done, I kind of just got distracted with a ton of other games, and it's just kind of sat there.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff came out after Rogue Legacy, so it's been hard to just stick with it for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, all right. Some great games there. Kyle, what have you been playing?
Making me go next, are ya?
Yeah, I'm going to go last. Save the best for last, right?
No. Alright, so this week I've played a shit ton of games. Dipped into some stuff just for fun and played some stuff for trophies. Started the week pretty much with some Killzone Mercenary and some Danganronpa. Just kind of messing around on Killzone Mercenary and a little bit of grinding here and there for that plat in Danganronpa, which I still haven't got. Also, we played some Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Z, helped me with some trophies there. I got a couple levels ahead and stuff, so that was cool.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. If I'm referencing you, that's that's my thanks, Tyler. Being mentioned from my lips,
The honor.
That's right. And you can thank me because I helped you with some Little Big Planet and your level testing, I guess.
That's very true.
That you were doing, so there you go.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I don't know if you guys know, but we always play the shark levels when we're doing lounge play, and we also play skateboard levels, and we play bumper cars. And Tyler made another skateboard level, so we kind of got to perfecting it and working the kinks out, and it was more fun than a lounge play almost. Next time we're definitely gonna have to record that because that was some crazy shit.
Oh yes.
So yeah, we played that. I bought a whole whack of Senran Kagura DLC that I was missing, so I played Shinobi Versus and put some costumes on my women. Definitely women, because those costumes.
Careful, Kyle.
Yeah.
Keep your pants on.
Hey, Tyler, I'm not like you. I don't start the podcast with my pants off, okay?
It's not a podcast without my pants on.
Oh, good times, good times.
Did I
As long as
distract
I'm
you?
far away from you, Tyler, good times. So, yeah, I played some of that, Senran Kagura, but I also played some Bon Appetit, doing a little better on some songs, and I actually ended up getting a cheat code with, or a trophy with a cheat code, which was kind of weird, to say the least. Also played some Hatsune Miku, because if you're playing Bon Appetit, then you get the rhythm bug, and I played some of that. And I played some Ollie Ollie to get ready for Ollie Ollie 2, and then tonight, I actually got some time with Ollie Ollie 2, so I played that for about an hour and a half earlier, and then I played for an hour, about an hour ago, on the PlayStation TV, which was pretty cool.
Very nice.
And
Very
that's
busy.
all I played. All the
That's a lot. So for once, it's a little short for me. Obviously, you mentioned Little Big Planet, so I played a little bit of Little Big Planet. And like you were saying, it was hilarious, and I really wish I was recording, but I wasn't expecting it to be hilarious because we were just testing a level, so I was like, this is going to be boring, things are going to be broken, so we're going to be like quitting constantly and having me repair the level. But the fact that it was broken so much is what made it hilarious, because we were just fucking around, like things were breaking like the ways you would not expect them to break, so then we were just crying laughing at things happening. It was fun.
I can break anything, Tyler.
Apparently you were falling in things that shouldn't be able to fall into, and I was like, how Kyle? So, but hey, it's fixed now, so now that won't happen, it should be good. But I'm sure that someone like Kyle will break it somehow and let me know, so
What's it called, Tyler, so they can search it? Shark something 3?
Oh, the skateboard one? It's Skateboard Ramp 3.
Yeah, Skateboard Ramp 3. Sorry.
Yeah, because I have 3 skateboard ramp levels. My first one is the one that we did in the last lounge play. My second one isn't that good. I don't really like it that much. I was doing a weird idea, so I'd avoid the second one unless you really want to see it. And then the third one goes kind of back to the original, but adds a lot more uniqueness, I guess. It's more challenging, but at the same time rewarding, I guess. I don't know. You gotta try it out. Let me know what you think about it. And then I think I only played 2 other games. I think I only played 2 other games, and that would be Helldivers and Ollie Ollie 2. And I'll talk a little bit about Helldivers. It's awesome. I'm doing the review, but I haven't really started the review yet. I still want to do some of the harder missions because I've only been able to complete, I think, planet 7, like difficulty. Each planet has like a rating basically, and there's a total of 12 different planets, 12 being the hardest, planet 1 being the easiest, and I've only been able to pass planet 7, so a couple planets to do. But I'm loving the game. It plays so well, and the graphics people are complaining about, but personally it's not that big of a deal to me. I think we're going to go into that a little bit later in the podcast, so be ready for that. So I won't talk too much more about that, but Helldivers, it's fun. It's out now, so you should definitely pick it up if you're interested. We also have a video up on Lounge Play of me playing for an hour, so if you're still unsure about Helldivers, there's an hour of gameplay. And I'm playing with people that are playing on the PlayStation 3, on the PlayStation 4, and I'm on my little Vita, hanging around with them, so go watch that video. And then Ollie Ollie 2, played a little bit of it, and I'm loving it. I did have a little problem with judging whether or not a ground was like grindable or landable or manualable. I'm saying too much of bulls right now. But Kyle told me that there's a trick to it, so I'll have to try it later and see if he's right.
If anyone's wondering what the trick is, it's the color of the floor. So the top layer on the floor if it's like a blue color, then it's grindable. If it's not, if it's like the yellow color in the first levels, then it's land. And I think the other ones use just like plain without the line in it. So
Yes.
yeah.
So hopefully that's something I'll notice and be like, oh yeah, now I got it. This is easy. Because I was having that problem a few times, and I was like, really? Come on.
Tyler face planting because he's trying to grind on land.
That's exactly what was happening. And I was getting frustrated. So, actually, I think you were mentioning we played Dragon Ball Z. So I did play Dragon Ball Z to help you get trophies, like you mentioned. So I think that is it. There may be something else, but you will never know. Actually,
Or will we? Because you'll pop in and just tell us randomly during the
yep,
cast.
that might happen. So be ready for that. So let's move on to the next thing. There is nothing to review. So, right, Kyle?
Yeah, there's no reviews this week. A lot of people are busy with games that they're trying to review, so there's probably going to be a lot this week, but last week, no. So, nothing to report.
So be ready for next week's episode for some reviews. Well, all right, let's head on to those new releases. We got a few here, so take it away, person, with those new releases. Hey everyone, Tyler here, gonna bring you those new releases. So for North America, we're getting Helldivers, La Mulana EX, OlliOlli 2, Welcome to Ollywood, Orashika Tainted Bloodlines, and the free games on Plus would be OlliOlli 2, Welcome to Ollywood, and Counter Spy, and that's the same for Europe because we share it now, yay! For Europe, your new releases are Helldivers, Hotaru no Nakai the Firefly Diary, Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess Blackheart, La Mulana EX, Medieval Defenders, OlliOlli 2, Welcome to Ollywood, and Orashika Tainted Bloodlines. Good luck choosing what games to play this week. Well, back to the podcast. Alright, thank you for those new releases. Obviously, there's a couple here that I know some of us have. Kyle, you got OlliOlli 2, but I know you're excited for that. Are you going to get the other games?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Nothing right now, but definitely La Mulana looks interesting, even though, as Liam said on Twitter, it's 4-3, so that's kind of, I don't know. The presentation is something to me, and you have to at least fill the screen. I think, anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of unsure about that. Helldivers looks interesting, although I'm not sure if it could keep my attention for very long, just because, I don't know, that's kind of how I am. So I'm not sure, but I might dive in on that, and then...
I get it.
And then Orashika, I'm actually going to try the demo. I downloaded it on my Japanese account, so I'm probably going to mess with that before I decide.
Okay. Well, what about you, Liam?
I already have La Mulana, but I'm definitely going to be giving OlliOlli 2 a go. I love the first game, so the second one can only be better. As for Helldivers, maybe when I've got a bit more money to spare. I'm in no rush for it.
I gotcha. Well, all right. For me, obviously, I'm doing the review for Helldivers, so I've already got that one. And OlliOlli 2 came out free for Plus, so obviously I got that. And then La Mulana, I don't know. It doesn't grab me enough, but we'll see. And Orashika Tainted Bloodlines, I want it, but there's so many games right now that I just can't. I don't need to. Like, I shouldn't. So I might just hang back for a little bit and buy it later on when it's a little lower in price, maybe. Because I actually just bought Danganronpa 2. It came in the mail on Saturday, and I'm like looking at that bubble like, oh my gosh, there it is. I need to play it. I love the first one. I'm gonna love the second one. So yeah, so many games. But all right, let's head into the news. We got more than 12 here this time, so sit back and enjoy. So first up, A new media app titled Snag Films has launched for both the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation TV. Snag Films is a video streaming service much in the same vein as Netflix, Hulu, and Crackle, only with much less content. The movies and TV shows available are centered more around documentaries and obscure films that you probably won't recognize. The service is free, but supported with a number of ads throughout each video. The quality of the stream is also not as high as what Netflix provides, though this seems to vary from one video to the next. The app is free and the service is free, and as mentioned earlier, it is compatible with the PlayStation TV, so go give it a try, because why not? Which I haven't even given it a try, because I've got Netflix and Hulu. Anyways, next up. A new report in Famitsu indicates that sales of Minecraft for the PlayStation Vita have been quite good recently, as total sales for the handheld version now top 200,000 as of January 26th. This is up from 100,000 units sold as December 17th. Total sales of Minecraft on all PlayStation platforms in Japan has been 500,000 across the PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 3, and PS4. Since the PS Vita version was released 3 months after the PlayStation 3 edition, it's surprising that the Vita has been able to capture such a large share of the market. Or perhaps it's not that surprising when you look at data gathered from a recent survey that indicates among school children in Japan, the Vita is the second most popular way for kids to play Minecraft. These numbers are certain to increase with the retail release coming soon to the region. That's pretty cool. Not that Kyle cares, but more Vitas, sales, everyone's happy.
You always say I don't care, Tyler. It's not that I don't care, it's just it doesn't affect me personally.
Kyle, you don't care. It's okay. If people knew what you said to me before we started recording, they'd understand.
If people knew what I said
yeah, that
to you,
was
Tyler,
pretty...
they would laugh.
Don't laugh at that, Liam. Well, alright. You guys are jerks, both of you. I'm going to continue on with the news. Next up. Devolver Digital has confirmed that the eagerly anticipated sequel to the brutal Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number will be launching for the PlayStation Vita on March 10th. After we correctly speculated the release date from a cryptic tweet at the start of the month, the official Twitter page for the game today revealed that the game will indeed be releasing on March 10th. Hotline Miami tweeted, quote, Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number launches on PlayStation and PC March 10th. Pre-orders available on Steam, Humble, and GOG. End quote. Although there is no mention of a European release date, March 11th has been confirmed as the release for that region.
Alright, moving on. Laughing Jackal have revealed the release date for their firefighting roguelike Flame Over. In their weekly blog, the developer has revealed that the game will release in North America on Tuesday the 10th of March and Europe on Wednesday the 11th of March at a price of $9.99 in America and €9.99 in Europe. That's roughly £7.99 for those in the UK. The official website for the game also went live already, so head on over and see what's in store before you become a firefighting hero. The link is on the site. Next up, a new promotion on the PlayStation Store has been announced, and with it, a bunch of release dates for games that we're looking forward to. All these games will be receiving a 10% launch discount on their first week of launch in North America. The prices of these games with their discounts and release dates are as follows. The release date of 3/3, and the sale is going through 3/9. Helldivers, $17.99. Hotline Miami, release 3/10 through 3/16, and it's $13.49. Metal Slug 3, release 3/24 through 3/30, and that's $13.49. Titan Souls, release 4/14 through 4/20, and that's $8.99. And Shovel Knight, release 4/21 through 4/27, and that's $13.49. The deal is only available on the North American store at present, but the games are normally get discounted in Europe as well. And next up, developer Dramatic Create have announced that they're bringing their 2013 PC visual novel Chingsengura 46+1 to the PlayStation Vita, at least in Japan. It's set to launch on May 28th, priced at 6,800 yen, and takes place in the Edo period of Japan, where samurai clan have become women. Okay. An official plot synopsis is as follows. The protagonist, Fukami Suguha, visits the historic graves of the 47 Aku Ronin on New Year's Day, but suddenly blacks out while observing the solar eclipse. He wakes up in the body of an Edo period samurai with the same name and face. Suguha is forced to adjust to the life in 1701 as history unfolds, while getting to know the 47 Ronin, whose personal details closely match history, except that many of them are women. We'll bring you more information on this title as it becomes available, because it sounds really weird.
Still awake, Liam?
Yep, I'm still here.
Good, because there's more news. Next up, Axis has confirmed that they're bringing the visual novel with a twist sequel to X-Blaze Code Embryo to the West and have hinted at a release window. After the leaking of an Amazon listing earlier today, Axis Games skipped the usual denial stage and hit Twitter to confirm that X-Blaze 2, aka X-Blaze Lost Memories, is indeed coming to PlayStation Vita in the West. Axis Games tweeted, quote, "Greetings all. It seems the feline has fled the sack. Yep, we will be releasing #XBlaze 2 on both PS3 and PlayStation Vita, on PlayStation Network and physical," end quote. Following the confirmation post on Twitter, they also went as far as to put up the official site for the title, furthering our information with regards to a release window, as the page notes summer 2015. Looks like the visual novel with the twist will be heading to the Western Vita near you this summer, with the Japanese version hitting a bit earlier on April 9th. Next up, Japanese video game developer Marvelous AQL has announced new details for its upcoming rhythm game IA VT Colorful. The first print copies of IA VT Colorful will include compilation album IA03 Vision, consisting of 5 songs, reversible cover art, and a code for the gothic fashion in-game costume. The songs included are Sunday Minami Pack Ishu Furio. Oh boy, here we go. Promenade Monica Factory Dokoku Kaiju Ketsuki Yoshihiro. Nailed it. Shinigami no Guitar Potential 0. Uragiri Module Utata P. There you go, those are songs. You'll be able to unlock more costumes as you... Wait, were those costumes or songs? Yep, those were songs. Alright. You'll be able to unlock more costumes as you venture your way through the color-driven game, with stages able to be decorated as well for that full customization feeling. If you're looking for a list of costumes, there's one available on the post. This is sourced from on the site. IAVT Colorful is set for a June 25th release date in Japan. There is currently no word on a Western release date, but rest assured, the Vita Lounge will be there if it does. Next up, Wolf Brew Games have updated their Kickstarter for Slain, in a homage to the gory hack-and-slash games of the 80s and 90s, to include a release for the PlayStation Vita. Playing as Batharin, who is the hero in his gothic world, the aim of Slain is to emancipate 7 great towers. You will do this by making your way through an ill-fated land that is full of horrific pixel art enemies that will come between you and the tower. You will need to ascend or occasionally descend each tower whilst fighting off monsters, overcoming traps, and working out puzzles on your way to the tower's heart, where you will find the mighty overlord and face off against it. I don't know. Looks like there's something missing there. Anyways, you will need to defeat this enemy to continue with Batharin's quest. Failure will be met with a gruesome death for our hero, falling victim to any of the following: being mauled by werewolves, disintegrated by floating monstrosities, squashed by great weights, or torn apart by hidden blades. Judging by the game's trailer, it does appear that failure is something that players will see a lot while they try to liberate the land's towers. Slain is split into 7 areas, each of which has 2 different yet distinct stages. The first stage of each area will see Batharin battle towards the tower of that land. These parts of the game take place on a horizontal playing field with a lot of focus on testing your combat skills. Equipped with a sword and some mana abilities, Batharin's swordsmanship will put you to the test as you tackle this section of the game. With a wide array of ways to die, you will have to have your wits about you to make it to the mid-area mini-boss. Defeating this mini-boss will then allow for you to begin your climb of the tower, which sees a larger focus on platforming. Timing is crucial in these sections of the game, as the emphasis here is to overcome puzzles and creative yet deadly traps. Surviving these obstacles and reaching the tower's summit will see you go head to head with the area's overlord. It appears that there will be no rest for our hero in this quest. With a target release date of September for the PlayStation Vita version of Slain, the game's Kickstarter is currently just under 50% of its $12,000 backing required to help fund the next 3 months to allow Wolf Brew Games to finish the PC version, port the game for the consoles versions, and to help pay for the game's music. We have some footage of the game in action on the site, so if you're interested, why not take a look? And go ahead and back the Kickstarter if it's something you're interested in.
Alright then. Side-scrolling action platformer Shadow Blade Reloaded has been announced for release on PlayStation Vita. Shadow Blade Reloaded is about a man named Kuro who seeks out the teachings of the final ninja master so he can become the Shadow Blade. The game contains 7 chapters spanning 60 different levels where you slice, sliver, and ricochet through obstacles to reach your goal. Originally released on iOS and Android, Shadow Blade has evolved into Shadow Blade Reloaded, an enhanced version of the game that includes hardcore and masterclass duplicates of each level, fit for those who have taken their skill to the next level. It also comes with extra content in its PvP race mode, where you can race against the other three other ninjas to see who is the fastest ninja alive, and a level editor to let your imagination run amok. No release date was announced by developer Dead Mage, so be sure to check back with us for more information later. Next up, Bandai Namco has recently released new details for its upcoming dungeon crawler RPG, Rei Gigant. Jimansu has laid out the initial details of the game as follows. This is about the prologue. Near future, June 20XX, so they don't identify the exact year. In every city throughout the world, giant monsters known as Gigants appear. Military resistance from each nation ends in a wasted effort, but in Tokyo, one boy is able to defeat a monster. His name is Ichiya Amakaze. To do this, the boy used an unknown power called Yorigami. But after defeating the Gigant, the boy's power runs wild, and in the end, the city is destroyed and the boy loses consciousness. But one young man saves him and transfers him to a safety zone. Bamco also gave info on the game's heroes, and comrade characters, which can be read on the site if you're interested, but the existence and function of the Gigants is the important bit. The enemies that Ichiya and company fight are known as Gigants. Each Gigant is designed after an ancient god beast. From huge bosses to weaklings, there are Gigants of all types. Their true identities are that of alien invaders from space, but on Earth they're trying to eradicate human civilization and life. Rei Gigant is scheduled for a summer 2015 release in Japan, with no word yet on localization for the West. Continuing on. A post over on the official PlayStation blog has given us a fresh look at Future Item EP Deluxe developer Mixed Bag Games' next title, Forma 8. That was a mouthful. And relevant bits from the blog post are as follows. Quote, in the original announcement, we shared late 2014 as a tentative release date, and as you can see, since the game is not available, we missed it, plain and simple. 2 factors contributed to the delay. First, we focused on launching Future Item EP Deluxe on PS4 and PS Vita, and it took longer than expected. Secondly, we decided to raise the bar on Forma 8 with a massive visual and technical overhaul. To sum the redesign up, we're focusing on improving all the particle and special effects, ranging from subtle ambient particles suspended in the air to big explosions and lava burst, with added full screen effects like wobbly heat, haze distortions in the volcano area. So what's under the hood? Well, they're talking full resolution and 60 frames per second on Vita with Unity 3D, a magic number that's really important in a smooth game like Forma 8. They say, quote, it simply doesn't work at 30 frames per second. Trust us, we've tried it, end quote. So what now? Well, quote, after this big visual and technical transition, things are going smoothly on the development front, and we'll post more and more about the progress on the game in the future. But we won't make the error of giving out another release date that we may miss. We made this mistake before, inexperience, and we don't want to promise something we can't deliver. We want Forma 8 to be the best game we can make. It's our little baby after all, and we don't want to rush it. It'll still take a bit of time, and we really hope you enjoy it when it comes out, end quote. So there you have it. No release date, but a better game is coming.
All right. Next up, Fairplay Labs is set to bring their side-scrolling action game Color Guardians to the PlayStation Vita this spring in North America, and we've got the details. A successful startup has blossomed via the Sony Developer Incubation Program in Latin America. Fairplay Labs is a Costa Rican-sourced development team which has also put out Boss for Vita, a port of their earlier title Wacky Lands Boss on another platform. Claudio Pinto from the studio has taken to the PlayStation blog to describe their new title, Color Guardians, and his introduction for the game is as follows. Quote, in Color Guardians, you play as 3 guardians, Rod, Leah, and Grok, as they race through their worlds to restore the stolen color. It might look at first like a regular side-scrolling action game, but there's a couple of twists to the gameplay. Not only do you have to dodge and jump incoming hazards, but you have to switch between 3 lanes while doing so, hopping in and out of the background and foreground. If that weren't tricky enough, you also have to switch your own color on the fly to match yourself with pickups and objects in the world. People who have tried it at the PlayStation Experience describe it as being an Icaraga style game, which is a pretty fair and flattering comparison. End quote. Color Guardians is due to hit PlayStation Vita, including PlayStation TV, April 14th in North America, and has been confirmed to be cross-buy with the PlayStation 4 version. A European release has not yet been detailed. Next up, hotly anticipated God Eater 2 Rage Burst, the enhanced version of 2013's God Eater 2, burst to the top of the Japanese charts this week, selling 234,180 copies. The Vita version outsold its PlayStation 4 counterpart 6-1, although given the strong preference for hunting games on portable formats in Japan, you would imagine the console port was produced primarily for an international release, as with Tokiden Kiwami. Vita hardware sales also saw a decent boost, up to over 35,000 units, helped by the release of the game in combination with a new hardware bundle, which MediaCrate reported as encouraging PSP users to shift to the Vita. And ignore that dog whining, there's an alarm going off. Vita games in the list include number 1, PlayStation Vita God Eater 2 Rage Burst, 14th Otako Yokaku, 15th Samurai Warriors 4 2, 16th Hagayoki So Kyle loves me right now for reading these things. Alright. Hagayuki Suzuroku Omo Cage Hana. Nailed it. 20th Furaiki 3. Yep. Well, now Bamco just has to announce Rage Burst for the Vita, right? Next up, Renegade Kids Exo Drifter Special Edition has been confirmed for release on PlayStation Vita sometime this April by word of Gambitious Digital Entertainment.
Dyslexia, Tyler? Zeo Drifter?
What am I doing wrong? Oh, Jesus. It's okay, see, it's the whole thing with me reading Japanese words and then going to other words. It just throws me.
How does that throw you with X's? There's almost no X's in Japanese anything.
Kyle?
Tyler.
What's the name of the game again?
Zeo Drifter.
Zeo Drifter. Alright, I got it. Nailed it. Zeo Drifter Special Edition is a Metroidvania side-scrolling shooter that was originally released on Nintendo consoles. Thanks to Renegade Kids' partnership with Gambitious Digital Entertainment, Zeo Drifter has been given a new release and is joining the Vita family. Copies of the game will include a developer diary with detailed information about its development and Zeo Drifter's soundtrack. Jules Watson, Renegade Kids co-founder and creative director, had the following to say about Zeo Drifter's re-release. Quote, working with the Gambitious team to bring Zeo Drifter to a wider audience on PC and home consoles is something we're extremely excited about. Zeo Drifter Special Edition is a great way for players to get their hands on the game, the awesome original soundtrack, and a detailed behind-the-scenes look at how a few friends managed to cobble together a great game. End quote. April isn't too far away, but until then, keep hanging around the Vita Lounge for everything about Zeo Drifter. I almost said Exo Drifter again. Zeo Drifter Special Edition.
All right, moving on. Tecmo Koei has announced a PlayStation Vita power-up kit version of Nobunaga's Ambition creation set to release on May 28th in Japan. This version of the game includes a power-up kit add-on that contains brand new content alongside touchscreen and camera support. With the camera, you'll even be able to use your own captured image as a warlord avatar. Nobunaga's Ambition creation is a turn-based RPG set in the Sengoku period of feudal Japan, with the ultimate goal being to attain the conquest and merger of Japan. It's set to retail for 8,800 yen, but will be available digitally for 7,619 yen if the cheaper price is more enticing than the cart or case. And that's the news.
Aw, yeah. Is Liam awake now?
Yes. Wide
That is
awake.
alarming.
That's good. Maybe that's his alarm that was going off, making my dog whine.
No, that was mine.
Well, alright. Let's head on to those talking points, Kyle.
As usual, we have the announced or released games that we're looking forward to from the week. So, Liam, what looks good?
Shovel Knight has a release date. I'm really, really excited to play Shovel Knight. Slain also looks really good. And Shadow Blade sounds interesting as well. I think I'll be having a look into those games a bit more. Maybe it's kickstart Slain.
Yeah. There's some great games. What about me? What am I excited for? The usuals. We say it every time, so I won't even go into it. Let's see if I can name a game that I've not mentioned before. Flame Over. That game sounds interesting. I'm interested in putting out fires. What else?
You sound really enthusiastic about that, Tyler. I'm interested in putting out fires.
Well, I don't really know too much about it, so I've looked at a couple of screenshots, and I think I watched a short trailer that they had. And
Well, Tyler, you should watch my March releases video, and then you'll see some Flame Over footage.
I will do that. Nice plug. Yes, so that game. Also, God Eater 2 Rage Burst just needs to get announced for over here. Like Kyle and I always say, if Bamco just brings everything they're releasing in Japan over to the West, Kyle and I would be very happy for the next few years.
They should just start like a team that localizes everything they do.
Yes, they need to.
Like as they're doing it, so it comes out the same time or really close to it.
That'd be really smart.
I mean, I know there's a
There you
huge outcry for the Digimon game that they're working on that's coming out soon.
Yep.
There's campaigns everywhere to have that localized.
Yeah, I'd be happy for that to be localized. Everything.
Pretty much everything Bamco, man. People just want their stuff. They pick the great IPs to go after and use in their games, and now there's your train. All right.
That's all right. I'll talk a little bit more. What is that? Zeo Drifter. It's a 3DS game originally, so I kind of had I didn't care about it, didn't look at it, and was like, I would never play it because isn't it a shooter? Liam, do you know about that game?
No, this is the first time I've heard about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a first-person shooter. I read the story, so I think I should know. But yeah, that game looks somewhat interesting, so I'll wait to see more about it and see what's different on the Vita and see if it's something that I would really actually enjoy. X-Blaze Lost Memories, I think Kyle's more excited for that than I am, but I know he loves his visual novels, so I'll definitely keep an eye on it, see if it's something I actually want. And then you were saying, what the hell were you saying, Liam? Oh god, that game with the Shovel Knight, that's the one. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for that. I was really happy when they announced that to come to the Vita, so I am gonna definitely be playing that one when it releases. And I think that's about it. We didn't talk about it really, but next week, Hotline Miami. Oh man, I am ready to get murdered.
My Vita just heard the words Hotline Miami and started shaking out of horror.
I can imagine. I'm pretty sure, actually, I can't remember if this Vita has played it, because I don't know when the first one came out. Because my original, I had that for a while, and then I bought my Capture Vita. So my Blue Vita, which is my Capture Vita, might not know the wonders of Hotline Miami. I can't remember. But anyways, yeah. Maybe if Kyle's train's gone, he can talk a bit about what he's excited for.
My train's not gone, but can you hear it?
I can hear a light rumble, but it's not that bad.
Alright, well, anyway, even though there's a train here, I'll go on, because the show must go on. And
it must.
The things that I'm really looking forward to that we've talked about, and just a note, we did talk about Hotline Miami, Tyler. You just really aren't listening to anything, even the stuff that you read, because that was one of yours.
Man.
Damn it, Tyler. But anyway, Hotline Miami 2, for sure. That one looks awesome, and my Vita is probably hiding a knife somewhere in preparation for that if I punish it too much or something. But definitely that. X-Blaze Lost Memories, as I've been saying, I was predicting that it was coming. Now we know it's coming for sure. I want it. Gimme. I'm just not sure about this twist that they've kind of given it, because I don't know. They don't seem to have explained it very well, or I'm thinking it's something really strange. Anyway, that I'm looking at, and I'm sure I'll be reviewing it as well. Also, the one that Liam mentioned, Slain, that one I'm kind of looking forward to as well. It looks kind of unique, so that one's got on my radar. And then, like you say, all the stuff from Bamco that we want localized.
I haven't checked my Vita Lounge email in a while. I think I checked it last week to see if we had any emails. I totally got a code from Sony.
For what?
Oroshika.
Nice.
I'm glad I did not buy that game. Well, looks like I have Oroshika now, guys.
Well,
oh
go.
Man, that's more games.
All the games, Tyler, all the games.
More
you can't complain.
games.
You really can't complain.
I can't.
But guys, Vita has no games.
That's true.
I'm force choking you right now, Liam. Can you feel it?
I can feel it from here, and he's not even trying to choke me.
Well, I'm looking at you really funny, Tyler.
I can feel that. Is it because I'm not wearing pants?
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at you in the eye. I would never do that otherwise.
I was going to say which eye, but then that'd just be weird. All right. Well, next up, we got more talking points. Let's jump into the next one, Kyle.
So this one's kind of yours that you kind of suggested. Graphics versus gameplay, and also the stigma of indie. So,
all right.
What do you have to say about that, Tyler, since you brought it up, kind of?
So I was noticing a lot of people on my YouTube channel and the Vita Lounge's YouTube channel just completely bashing Helldivers for how it looks on the Vita. And I don't know, it doesn't seem right. Like, I understand being excited for a game and seeing how great it looks, but I'm all about the gameplay. If the gameplay is outstanding, then I'm going to play the crap out of it, because that's what hooks me. Graphics are a plus, but if you think of like Minecraft, it's blocks. And that game is one of the best games in the world.
Bullshit! Sorry.
Okay, it's maybe one of the most popular. I wouldn't say the best games in the world, but it's the most popular game. I mean, and there's so much others out there that are just so great because of their gameplay that aren't graphically impressive. But the thing with the PlayStation 4 is that if the game's coming to the PlayStation 4 and it's really going to be pushed on PlayStation 4, it's going to look really good on the PlayStation 4. And the Vita, I mean, it can handle things. And I honestly, some of the comments that I was seeing on my YouTube channel, I could see how they could be a little frustrated, but I would still buy the game because it's an awesome game and it plays really well. But I think the developers, if they had a little bit more time, they really could have done something better with the graphics on the Vita. But I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of seeing all these comments like, "Oh my God, the graphics not getting this game." It's like, really? That's what's gonna not make you want to get this game? It's a fun game. So I don't know. I want to kind of know what your guys' thoughts were on it.
I can imagine maybe they didn't give the Vita version as much attention as the the other console versions, but at the same time, if it plays good and everybody enjoys the game, then it doesn't have to look like the best game in the world.
Right.
Some of the best games I've ever played haven't exactly had the world's greatest graphics. So, Rogue Legacy looks like something that could have been done on the Mega Drive or the Genesis. But it's still definitely one of the greatest games I've ever played, and I've played it for well over 50 hours at this point now.
Yeah.
So I don't see why people can slate a game over its graphics when it plays awesomely.
Right. See, the thing, I think some people are just, with Killzone Mercenary and Uncharted Golden Abyss looking so fantastic, people just are assuming that every game is going to be just as good looking that way. But I think the problem with releasing on 3 different platforms is, they're going to focus on, the stronger platform. That's just how it's going to be. And then they're going to be like, let's cut this, let's cut that, and now it can fit on these other ones. But seeing Killzone Mercenary and knowing what a developer can do with just the Vita and a ton of time, it does kind of suck seeing some of these games that could look graphically better, but at the same time, I mean, that gameplay is so good. And I would be saying that I hate Helldivers if the gameplay wasn't good, not if the graphics were outstanding. Like, if Killzone Mercenary stays how it was, but the gameplay was terrible, we would not be playing it. Kyle probably wouldn't have platinumed it. I don't know. Maybe he would have, but I don't know. It's frustrating. But Kyle, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's that time old thing where somebody starts talking about something a certain way and people just kind of assume that that's the way it is, and they kind of take things out of context, twist words, kind of do, things that people do when they're, talking about things and trying to fit in, and, that kind of ruin things for people, because really, for me, graphics have nothing to do with it unless it's a game where it's trying to be super realistic. Like, I mean, I wouldn't expect something like Guacamelee to look like the real people, because that's not the way the game is styled to be played. Like, I don't know. You don't need it for things that are not trying to be realistic. I don't know. Like, I don't get why people are always like, oh, the game has to look like, so great and so crazy and blah, all this stuff. It's like, I mean, that's secondary stuff. If a game doesn't play well, then I'm probably just not going to play it again. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter what it looks like. There's games that I've bought and I was like, oh, this game looks so awesome, and stuff that I've seen from trailers, like including gameplay footage. And then I sat down to the game and I was like, wow, this is boring, and I never touched it again. So, like, I mean, and then there's like indie games that are like pixel art crap that people, bitch about, and, whatever, pixel art is junk and retro is old and stupid, and why are you guys doing this, and blah blah blah, that I can't put down. Like, Ollie is one of those games that I've been playing since it came out, and it's pixel art. So, like, I mean, come on. If you're looking for realism, and if you're going for realism, maybe graphics are something that's important. But otherwise, as long as you're getting the message across, that's what it's about, because it's about the gameplay.
Right.
That's just the way I see it. And as for the whole stigma with indies, I think that's just kind of a mislabeling thing, kind of. Like, I almost want people to not use the term indie anymore and just describe games for what they are. Because, like, if you say to somebody indie, people just take that as like some game that some random dude made in his basement that he spent like 5 hours on, and like he wants to charge $8 so that he can make like $7.98 profit or some, ridiculous thing, where it's that's just kind of what people assume about these games, and they're really not like that anymore, because we're getting to a point where indie studios are the people who, you know, sit behind closed doors for 3 years and develop some game from nothing with like a team that, you know, knows how to code and blah blah blah, and they're just kind of learning the industry and not learning how to game, because they already know how to game, they already know how to make games. They're more kind of breaking into the industry than anything else. So it's not about them being independent as far as their games are crap because they spent 5 hours on it in their basement. It's more them being independent because they don't know business and gaming business, and that's why they haven't done this kind of thing before. So I don't know. It's just kind of a different age than what you looked at before, whereas you needed, you know, a big studio to make something that was worthwhile and that you would put more than 5 minutes into, and now it's anybody can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you take away like all indie developers, I probably wouldn't be playing that many video games anymore, because the majority of the games I play are indie games. And I've, like you've said, there's games that you've been so excited for and are just super disappointed with. And a lot of those are not indie games. They're mainly AAA games.
Yeah, exactly.
Where like there's a ton of hours put into these games and a ton of people are touching this game, but it's like seriously not that good. And then you get this game with like 3 people or even just 1 person working on a game, and it's the best thing you've played all year. So
I mean, while it's not strictly a Vita game, yeah, all you have to do is look at the Order 1886 for the PlayStation 4. It has apparently some of the greatest graphics people have ever seen, but the gameplay is just not that great.
Yeah.
So I guess, and then you get the indie games, and you know, well, these smaller games, and they play much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
contradictory.
People just need to realize that games are games, and to try things out and see if you like it, not just judge it because it has that indie quotations around it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's someone that commented on one of my videos, I think the other day, saying, "Where's all the AAA Vita games? I'm selling my Vita." And it's like, okay, well, Kyle was saying, give it to someone that actually would play it, that can't afford it or something. So
it's funny how perception works, because really a lot of the times, unless like I know completely about a game, like I've read about it or whatever for some reason and got like the whole kind of lowdown before I went in, I really don't generally end up liking games for the reason that I think I'm gonna like it when I go in.
yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, Ollie Ollie, I thought, okay, it's a skateboarding game, that's why I'm gonna like it. That's not why I liked it at all. Like, I mean, that contributed to it, but it wasn't the factor that, you know, kept me coming back. It's just that, you know, one more try that you have to perfect your mode of playing or whatever to get the most points and beat your friend's score and get, you know, the grind of the day and just all this stuff. It's about more than just graphics and subject matter. You know, the things that you end up liking aren't always the things that you end up thinking you're gonna like, I guess. So it's funny how perception works, and I'm almost willing to try anything unless it's something I completely can't stand because of like gameplay mechanics wise. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a crazy new world, Tyler.
It is. I mean, we could go on forever about all this indie talk and gameplay graphic conversation. So it's just, people need to learn that there's some awesome games out there that may not look as great as these AAAs, but will play 10 times better. And that's the end of the story. So, all right, let's head on to listener mail. We got a couple here. So, Kyle, I guess we could just read each one ourselves. So, first, Kyle.
I think we should make Liam read them.
Oh, okay. Liam, do it.
So, first we have Shea Batty asking, what is your least favorite Vita game that you own?
Oh, boy. I think it's a game I reviewed. What is it called? Is it Doodle God? I think it's called Doodle God. It's where you like combine elements to make other elements, and that's literally all you do. And I was so bored, and it's definitely one of those iOS games that I think shouldn't have come over to the Vita. Like, I mean, I guess if you're interested in those games, by all means, go for it. But it was just super boring, and I could not stand it. And sadly, I had it for review, so I had to combine all those elements. So yeah, that would probably be my least favorite Vita game.
All right, well, I guess I'll jump in there. I think my least favorite game that I've played on Vita so far has to be Machinarium. I just found it really tedious and kind of annoying, and it was just a pain in the ass to go through. And I ended up using a guide and just following the guide, and even though I used the guide, I got stuck. So, like, I mean, I followed the guide exactly because I was like, okay, let's get this over as quick as possible. Like, just finish it because I'm tired of this game, and I even got stuck then. So, like, I mean, fuck that game. I'm never playing it again. I 100%ed it. That's enough.
It's better
Never
than me.
touching my Vita again.
I couldn't get past the first level, and I don't have, I think, any trophy in that game. Yeah, I don't like that game either.
There you go. What about you, Liam?
For me, it would probably be FIFA 14, specifically because I had the original FIFA football on Vita, and it's basically a case of I purchased the same game twice.
Yeah, that's terrible, but that's EA for you.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
He also goes on to ask, what are your favourite TV shows? Anime doesn't count, and I've got to disappear for 2 seconds.
All right. Favorite TV show? Huh. I don't really watch TV too much, but I can always sit down and watch an episode of Futurama or South Park. Those are some great ones. What about you, Kyle?
I watch way too much TV, actually, and so it's hard for me to pick a single show. And these are probably mostly ones that people, would have kind of guessed or are ridiculously popular, so whatever. But The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. I really like this show that's on the CW network right now called The 100. What else? Oh, The Big Bang Theory. I like Sheldon. He's pretty awesome. And this show that's on this really weird channel. I think it's called Star, and the show is called Black Sails, and it's like pirate stuff. It's pretty cool. So those are kind of my favorite shows right now.
Interesting. What about you, Liam? You back?
Yes, I'm back. I'm more of a cartoon kind of guy, so not particularly anime, but I like Family Guy, South Park, all that kind of stuff. I also use Netflix quite a lot for the shows that don't actually air in the UK, so It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is one of my favorites, as well as La League.
Yeah, that's a good show. I should have mentioned that one too. I've been watching a few episodes of that one.
Yeah, it's mainly comedy stuff I like to watch. I'm not too much of a fan of serious things.
Yeah. I mentioned Futurama and South Park when you were gone, by the way. But
Okay,
I think I'd go with what Kyle said as well. Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead. There's a couple others out there, but I hate The Big Bang Theory, Kyle. I'm sorry. I can't stand that show.
I never really watched it. I know a lot of people mention How I Met Your Mother as well, but I never really watched that either.
Yeah, I watch that too. I watch everything, man. Like you wouldn't even believe the list of like shows that I'm watching right now that are just stuff that's playing currently. Like it's ridiculous. I have to keep like a list to keep track of it.
Yeah. Well, all right. I think that's enough on TV shows. We got a couple more questions here.
Fletcher, or at Pool712 on Twitter, asks, do you think a proper first-person shooter will ever be released again on the Vita?
I would hope so. Do I really think it will happen again? I'm not gonna cross my fingers, or actually I would, I think there's a possibility, but I don't think it's high. That's about it.
Personally, I'd like to think that Gorilla Cambridge are working on a sequel to Killzone Mercenary 2, but I can't see it happening for some strange reason. I'd like to, but I think if we were ever to see a first-person shooter, it would probably be from an indie developer, a smaller team, perhaps. But it wouldn't be a AAA name like Killzone or Resistance or Call of Duty.
We can hope.
Yeah, but we've seen those IPs before, and only one of those three actually got it right. So,
Well, yeah, but then again, the Call of Duty and Resistance was by the same developer, and they're like so close to each other that it was like the stupidest planning in the world.
yeah,
So, I mean, that was just bound to happen, and it's frustrating because it's like, hey, give those to two different developers and actually give them time, and look what Killzone Mercenary did. That's what you could have for Call of Duty and Resistance. Give the game time, and bam, sell the Vitas. But Sony's just in their own world right now.
yeah.
What about you, Kyle? You think it's going to happen?
All right, well, I guess that depends on what you mean by a proper first-person shooter. I mean, any first-person shooter that actually plays well is a proper first-person shooter to me, and if they drop one on there, I'll play it. But
Duke Nukem came out.
Regards, yeah.
Yeah.
I play that. Yeah, like if they're referring to, you know, AAAs as people tend to with these sort of things, I think, you know, at this point with anything like this, it's 50-50 whether it's going to happen again. Because, I mean, whether it's going to happen again is, you know, a 0 or 1 kind of thing. It either happens, so 1 does it or 50 does it, doesn't matter. That means it happens. Or it doesn't. 0 people do it. So, like, I mean, there's a possibility. And with anything where there's a base, so, like, I mean, they have, you know, 10 million or so Vitas out there. And, you know, you have like a big IP or something like that, that people know, like Killzone Mercenary, like Call of Duty, like Resistance. You know, if you put out the game, even if nobody else bought a Vita starting right now and you put out the game tomorrow, still a lot of people would buy it. Like, I mean,
Right.
it's kind of a guarantee kind of thing. So, like, once you have a certain amount of consoles out there, which I think the Vita has kind of reached that level, even though it's not really competing against other things that are in its class, but you know, you could get away with doing it and making money. So, like, I mean, whether somebody's gonna take that time to do that or take that chance, I guess not much of a chance, but is, you know,
Up to
who
them.
knows? But I think it's definitely possible, and I definitely think that something, whether it's indie or AAA, could work as long as it's put together well and, you know, plays well.
Yeah. We'll all hope.
All the games, just bring us all the games.
Yeah.
And a final question is from Elle at Elle Materia on Twitter. She asks, do you feel awkward when playing Vita in the public? Do you feel safe?
I play my Vita at work, but I know everyone at work, and I work on night shift, so it's kind of like a tight-knit group there, and there's not a ton of people because it's night shift, so I feel fine. If I was in midday, well, when I went to PAX Prime and Comic-Con, I played my Vita. I was like one of the only people playing my Vita. Everyone was using their 3DS, and I was like, "This is better." No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't doing that, but I was playing it, and I had a couple people actually looking over my shoulder and like, "Oh, what you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm playing." I think I was playing The Walking Dead at the time. They're like, "Wait a minute, what? That's on the Vita?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel safe playing it in front of a whole bunch of people that like to steal stuff. But I mean, at a convention with a whole bunch of nerds and whatnot, it was fun. You know, everyone's playing games, having a good time. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on the area I'm at and, you know, the situation I'm in.
For me, I've never really played my Vita outside of the house, so I guess.
Your Vita's an inside cat?
Yeah. I guess if I had to take my Vita out, if I was going on a long journey, then I would. I would take it with me. I would feel okay about it, but I would always have it in a pouch and pretty tight close to me if I'm not using it.
Nice. Kyle, are you gonna bring your
Well,
Vita over here when you come visit for PAX?
of course.
Bam.
But yeah, do I feel awkward playing my Vita in public? Hell no. I don't care. I'll play anything anywhere. Like seriously, I would if I was sitting on a bus and I was playing Senran Kagura or Monster Mod Piece and a priest sat next to me, I would not turn it off. I would not turn the volume down. Nothing. Like I mean, I really don't give two shits. I'll just keep playing because yeah, my time's worth more than giving a shit what people think about me playing. So
That's-
there.
I'd want to see that.
Well,
I would love when we're in Seattle and we're on the bus. I'm gonna pay a guy to get in the priest costume and sit next to you, and I'm not gonna tell you anything. And I'm just gonna look at you and be like, "Do it, God, do it."
I'm ready
do
for it, Tyler.
If I were you, Kyle, I'd deliberately show this guy in a priest outfit some of the screens of what you're playing as well. See how he reacts.
I'll just go frantic on Senran Kagura and rip all my clothes off right away.
Oh man, how exciting!
And do I feel safe? Of course I feel safe. I'm like 6'1" and like 170 pounds. What are you gonna do? Like, come at me, bro.
I guess it's true. I mean, yeah, I'm not that big. I'm 5'7", 5'6", 130 pounds. I'm pretty small.
Looks like I'm gonna be curling Tyler's when I'm down there. Gotta work out. Tyler, lay down on this like plank so I can curl you.
Oh boy. Well,
I
alright.
know you asked Kyle if he's bringing his Vita when he comes to visit you, Tyler. But Tyler, will you be wearing pants when Kyle comes to visit you?
Kyle's got to find
I'm
out.
going to staple them to his body.
That wasn't a
man.
question that somebody else asked. That was just one that came to my mind on the spot.
Hey, that's fine. When he like lands in the airport, and you know how people like put the sign of like the name, so it's gonna say like Kyle Wakeling on the sign or whatever. I'm gonna have it like a pretty tall sign, so it's covering my legs, and then I'm gonna be like Kyle, and I'm gonna lift the sign, and he's gonna just see, underwear.
And then Tyler gets arrested.
Hey, I'm covered up. It's not indecent exposure.
Oh, it's indecent, Tyler. Nobody wants to see your knees.
Psh, I've got beautiful knees. No one wants to comment on my beautiful knees.
just no, Tyler. Just no.
All right, I'll send pictures to you guys. You guys want pictures of my knees?
I'm going offline now. See
I'll
you later.
pass.
Oh, well, if you want pictures of my knees, tweet me at Mr. No, I'm just kidding. All right. I think that's all the questions we got. We'll do a quick double check, make sure anyone got a last question here.
I did not. We are good on my end.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm good on mine too. So, yeah. All right. What's next? Check this out. So let's head on to check this out. Liam, do you have something that people should check out on the Vitas?
Yeah, I'm going to say because it's on PlayStation Plus this month and it's free, everybody should go check out Ollie Ollie 2 because I know I will be. It's free, so there's no excuse. Basically.
That's very true.
Unless you have unless you don't have a PlayStation Plus subscription, and then you have an excuse, I suppose.
Nope, still no excuse. They need to buy the game. Support the developer.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a Vita, go buy a Vita, then buy the game.
Yeah. And I'd also be curious why you're listening to this podcast. If you don't have a Vita, but hey, maybe we're the reason why you're going to buy a Vita. Actually, no. Ollie Ollie 2 is going to be the reason. Well, alright. There we go. Definitely check that out. I need to play more of that. So let's head on to the threads for this week. Kyle, what do we got in the threads?
Alright, well, the only one that I could pull was one of my own, so I'm kind of self-promoting here, but there's a new thread on the forum called Games You Can't Take Screenshots In, where we discuss games which have the screenshot function disabled, and they're listed at the top of the post. The list is small right now. It's only about 10 titles, but if you know any or are curious which games block the feature other than PSP and PS1 games which do it by default, you should check out the thread and maybe contribute.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that games blocked this. I thought it was just a feature that every Vita game had. So reading the thread, it kind of surprised me.
Yeah, it seems like Vita games, like it's one of those things that's enabled by default, and then PSP and PS1 games, it's disabled by default. But there are exceptions on both sides, because there's even PSP and PS1 games that you can take screenshots in that you're not supposed to be able to. So I don't know. It's pick and choose. There's not a big list on either side, so.
And then there's me with the capture Vita that can take a screenshot of anything.
Tyler.
You can't get around that, people. Well, all right. Go ahead and check out that thread, but we are going to jump out of here. So you can find all the stories that we talked about on the VitaLounge.net. There's a dog barking, so enjoy that. We're all on Twitter. I'm at Mr. PSVita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. Liam is at
Liam Hangover.
Yep.
Thank you.
We're on Facebook. Just search the Vita Lounge. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. YouTube.com/loungeplay. We post up lounge plays. Kyle just posted up his March preview for the games coming out in, what do you know, March. And then we do the podcast on there too, so if that's your way of listening, subscribe to get every episode. Also, we have the magazine that we're doing. It's patreon.com/thevitalounge. You can support us there. We're releasing a electronic magazine and a few physical magazines for those that back us and support us for that. So look out for the first magazine coming out very soon. And then there's the forum that we mentioned earlier, the vitalounge.net/forum. Sign up, join the conversation, introduce yourself, have fun in there. We're on iTunes. Subscribe to us there. Rate us. Let us know how we're doing. And that would be the Vita Cast with good old Liam and Kyle. So thank you.
Yay, it's over. I can get the hell away from Tyler.
Ooh,
even digitally.
Man, that's how you're going to end it.
Okay, Tyler, fine. I'll declare my love for you on the podcast. I love you, Tyler. You're a good guy.
Even my knees?
No, not really.
One step at a time, Kyle. One step at a time.
We'll have to get you replacement knees if I'm supposed to be seen with you in shorts, Tyler.
Well, so we are out. Bye, everyone.
Hasta luego.